Hello guys out there watching. My name is Kyomugasho and I'm a media personality. I'm glad to be hosted.
Nice to have you here.
Thank you.
So starting with your precious Eugene, first tell us, how did you become Miss New at this age of youth and you're still at school?
I actually thought I was not going to win, but it started as a joke.
Okay.
But by God's grace, I won.
You won.
Yeah.
What were the principles that were put across for you to become one?
You had to be exemplary.
Okay.
You had to be, let me say, talkative.
Hey. You had to be talkative.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Oh, a
so
person who is
beauty.
so open and you can be able to speak to the congregation.
Yeah.
Being a speaker, good speaker.
Yeah.
So you can be a good speaker, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can face the president also.
Yeah.
Hey.
Only.
So Esie, how the category of precious lady, as you say, she's Miss New and also she's the young gospel artist. Have you ever been also one in your high school, in your primary school? Have you ever tried also to be engaged into activities like this?
Well, I would not have maybe participated a lot,
Okay.
but I managed to be one of the Miss of my former school. Well, by that time I was still young, as in senior 4.
Okay.
I qualified. You know, that joy of being a Miss is something alarming. I know she's just overjoyed inside her,
Yeah.
however much you might not see her.
Okay.
But that is always amazing. It is inspiring when you actually engage when you're still young. When you're growing up, things start changing. You get inspired. You try some other ways. You might find tomorrow she's the upcoming Miss Uganda.
I know. That's from here.
Yeah, true.
Wow. So another question I want to ask you, Precious Eugene. You are a gospel artist.
Yeah.
And you know still at school. And now you have another promotion of being a miss in your school. There are a lot of responsibilities.
Yeah.
Right now you're at home for holidays, right?
Yeah.
You're in the school, right?
No.
Boarding.
Yeah.
So right now you're at home. How are you planning to spend your holidays?
I'll get some work to do.
Some work to do.
Yeah, so that I cannot be idle.
Okay.
Also go to church. Yeah.
That's how you're going to spend your holiday.
Yeah.
You're lying.
I'm not lying.
You're lying.
I'm not
Maybe you
lying.
don't want me to hear that you'll be going out for a party with your friends. You know, Esther, when you talk about holidays makers, students back from school to home, you're going to find out this is the opportunity that they only have for them to do everything that they want.
True.
You see that most of the students will engage into maybe partying with friends, maybe like outings. You understand that, yeah?
Yeah.
Maybe the things of other activities which may not be meaningful to them, and also maybe it might affect the school, go back to school when you're supposed to read the books and you haven't read the books, and it brings a negativity on your performance. So that's what I'm talking about. Esie, maybe getting back to you before I get up to this lady here.
Okay.
When you're still at school, in that time period when you went back home for the holidays, how did you manage to use it?
Well, first of all, I really thank my mother because she became too strict on me.
Wow.
And I really want to first encourage parents to always be strict on us. Because if you don't become strict on your child, things change
Right.
at a stage when you cannot control them. First of all, when students are from school, they're always excited.
Oh yeah.
For us, apparently, we call it urban excitement. By that time, we might call it maybe home excitement. When someone is from school, they want to get engaged to know what is current, how can we go to this party, how can we do this, but they forget that there are very many roles they're supposed to be doing and engaging with their parents so that the future can become a brighter one. Well, for example, I would encourage parents to always sit and talk to their kids. Most especially when we are growing, we need that motivation. Let me call it a motivation. When you sit and talk to your child, you will see maybe which future they hold. One person might be wanting to be maybe a DJ, sorry to say, but as a parent, are you buying the idea? Well, can you inspire your child to become a DJ? I've just given it as an example because we've got very many people that are earning and are very successful by DJing.
Yes.
But I'm just giving it an example. So probably me, first of all, I would want to encourage parents because this is between the child, and my parents.
Oh, yeah?
Because this has always inspired us.
Oh, yeah?
Secondly, as a child, what are the efforts, which efforts are you putting on so that your parents can favor you at home. These are the things we are doing so that maybe tomorrow when I'm at school, my parent can be like, oh wow, Esther is my good child. Esther, even if they bring something like a cream, you know, my parent will be capable of telling teachers and be like, my child is not capable of doing that. Okay. So how are we going to be that conducive? How are we convincing our parents that we are better? We can engage in fellowships. Yes, we can as well engage in housework. You know, nowadays we are all grown up. We want to be using smartphones. We just want to be slaying around. You know, this trend does not want to just let us down. You know, someone of 7 years already has a smartphone. They're exposed, but they don't know how to cook. They don't know house chores. We are now grown in an era of modernization whereby we actually pay school fees for our kids, while the matrons take care of even washing a baby stockings, maybe hankies, maybe knickers. But at a stage of 8, what should my child be doing when they're at school? Those are some of the stages maybe a child should be doing. I'm supposed to engage with my parents at home, wash, cook, sweep. But in this current modern era, my baby, there is nothing like there is nothing like chores. We just slay, watch TVs, TikTok, and we're just living that life.
Can you imagine? Miss Noor, do you slay around at home?
No.
Of course, she's a little princess, so she has to.
But I do not slay.
How do you manage your phone? Okay. How do you manage your phone? That you have?
It's like I get the time for it. I say like from 7 to 9 I'm going to be on the phone. Okay. Then from like I get some other things to do at that time.
Alright.
Yeah.
Like which things?
Helping my mom.
Helping your mom?
Yeah.
You can wash plates?
Yeah.
Clothes?
Yeah, I can also do some artworks.
Artworks. Besides maybe reading books, helping mom and dad, which other creativity do you have? Do you raise to, like, you know, some students when they're at home, you can make one. I have my young sister, she loves the things of making knitting. You get those certain things. Besides the things of helping mommy,
I like making bangles. Yeah.
You made some of them and you try to sell them, maybe this and this, to earn some money? Yeah.
Wow. Of course, I sell them to get some money that will support.
That is entrepreneurship now. All about the precious UGA. Yeah? I saw which class?
Form 2.
Form 2. A Form 2 student comes out and brings out the creativity to do something, to earn something into her life. You need to wait for her, the parents. You know, the parents support you and they always continue to support you. The parents are always happy when they see a child being creative like that.
Engaged in things.
You motivate them to also work so hard and be able to invest in you. So another thing, Precious Chiji, this question goes actually if I get back to you, Esie. Our Google cover singer, we have seen most of the students your age in senior 2, senior 1, Form 3, adolescents is one of the key issues in Form 2 mostly.
Form 3, Form 2.
3, Form 2. Olanza, batambula n'obulenzi b'enzoobu kati ogwere njagala otukulire bwe wali weesimbawo nesinowa obubuka bwete bwekwepakiddemu awo.
At your own risk.
Tell them.
Come at your own risk.
So how do you tell them to excuse you? Okay, I'm kidding about that, but in the reality, when I was seeing at school, but they're more disturbed by the boys. So maybe you can answer the question. They're disturbed by the boys, whereby to what Daniel Waka in the holidays, instead of concentrating doing something, or may even observe the two way and go, more and come a number, right? From school, from your friend, to call your friends. Kaboya ko number. Kikakutawanya ni waka. Osanga my parents are witnesses, yeah. Ogamba mwana agenda okole kinene ekintu. Omwana ali ku simu. As you talk about it, you want to comment about it? You comment about it. Let's comment about it.
Well, here I think it's all about the child.
Yeah.
Why am I putting that role on the child? Because the ball is in their hands.
Okay.
The ball is in my hands to say no, and the ball is in my hands to know the footsteps I'm walking to. Am I capable of controlling myself? Am I capable of having a peer influence but reach an extent and be like, oh, I'm supposed to stop here. No, we might be in this era. I'm a bit older than her, but in her age, let's say like 13, 14, there is what we call peer influence. That's the first thing. How do we manage that? How does she manage it? How did I manage it when I was still young? Yeah. Well, me, of course, I was influenced. There is that stage you can never miss as a child. And then you have to obviously engage yourself alongside the way. But do we have those stiff parents? Back to my point. Are our parents capable of saying no? My mother gave me a phone after my Form 6 vacation. That was the funniest part of it. Because every phone I would get without her consent, she would confiscate it. Yes. Because there is a time when she was like, Esie, you're not supposed to hold a phone without my permission. But that never stopped me from holding a phone. I held as many as I could. But they were confiscated because she never wanted me for peer influence. Secondly, as a child, what am I gaining out there by holding that phone? Is it resourceful? Is it destructive? Well, am I supposed to learn from there? How am I gaining from TikTok? Am I using Google responsibly? Because these phones, you see, we are using them as much as we want. We can use them for pornography, learning, music, fun, everything. So me as a child, how am I making the phone resourceful? Because now we are not putting the burden on the parent, because the parent has the authority to buy me a phone. As a child, what am I supposed to use it for? What are the steps taken? I even have no consent of telling my child to sleep at 3. No, I'm buying you a phone. Use your knowledge, sit and know what am I supposed to use the phone for. Because now in this era, even if a parent says no, the child has the audacity to say yes. Because that is how we've made our kids grow up. You'll ask her, she'll tell you, I have the capacity to use the phone wherever I want, as long as mommy and daddy engaged and bought me a phone. So as me, how am I supposed to use it? The ball is always in my hands.
So, Precious, do you have some respect on your parents? Because they have no respect in their parents in the holidays. You're at home, you're supposed to carry out your duties, but you wake up at 10. My siblings, they wake up at 10. Yeah? At school, you used to wake up early, by around 6. Yeah? At least if you go back home in your holidays and adjust within at least by 7 or 8 or 9, you wake up and do other things. But at 10 or 11, you're still sleeping, and mother tells you something, and you're so disrespectful, you can't even. Or you made a watch, you get your money daddy. So on your side, tell us about that issue.
Actually, I do not do such.
So you don't do it. Yeah,
I do
an example.
Yeah.
Give me an example. Yes.
Yeah. I wake up at 7.
Right.
Then after waking up, of course I need to do some chores before doing other things. If it is my turn to cook, then I cook. Then I know that time I'll hold the phone like at 4 to 5. Yeah.
But I think this thing comes in with the family. The families, the children, where they come from. Not all families can be able to control their children.
Well, not all families can control their children, but as they say, charity begins at home. Yes. How are we mending our kids to grow up? I'm not a mother, but I have siblings maybe. Yes, you have siblings, she has little cute siblings, but then how are our parents grooming us? Because the way I met Rita is not the way I'm meeting this little princess. We are totally different, and our ways of handling matters is different. So apparently we are all insinuating and making sure that we use social media the way we want. Yes. And now we are making holidays resourceful in many ways. But according to me, how do I want to benefit from it? That is the question. Yes. How am I gaining from the holiday? Even to campuses, how are we gaining from the holiday? I'm putting it on that level. Because now we are these people that want to stay in town still a bit. We cannot even be resourceful at any time. We cannot even go back home and do chores. Or now they will be like, hi Esther, come back home. I'm doing coursework. Now you may not have the coursework. Those things are things that are letting down us. But the question is, how did Mom Rita groom her to be? How did Mom Esther wake up in the morning and control a child from being maybe destructive? Or maybe, at what time do you go back home? Even if I'm working. But at what time am I supposed to be back at home from work? Yes, I can be working, I can be everything, busy, but I'm supposed to go back home, do chores, be productive at home. But in the adolescent stage, these are the people that are never wanted to do maybe advice. They don't get advice. Maybe you'll tell Rita and she'll be like, and say, I'm tired. Mommy, homework. You can imagine just 2 sentences and someone is exhausted. But how am I supposed to put? I insist the point is always on me, the child. How am I making holidays resourceful? Not getting away from the what? From the mulamwa. How am I supposed? Me, Esther, how am I gaining from the holidays? Because now we are putting it on parents, but parents have done their role. We actually reach a level, I meet Rita, I meet this little baby, we engage and become something different from what our parents know. Then how am I supposed to make myself resourceful? Because now my parents don't know who I am. My parents send me to school from the first term to the third term. They only spend 3 to 4 months with me at home. What do they know about me? Literally, I'm a person that has changed now because I've joined a different society. I'm meeting different calibers of life, and I'm engaging more in knowing and experiencing life. So, as a child, what am I supposed to do? May I think, according to me, Esther, I'm supposed to be resourceful very many ways. But anyway, nowadays, youth no longer pray. We are in this beautiful life of slaying a lot, and 20% maybe praise. 20% they pray. Maybe 20% praise.
Always.
So maybe you might find at a time when I cannot sit and pray to my God, maybe I'm in a bar. And yet my parent knows Yankuzanga and Saba. Of course you will not tell a parent your daughter is in a bar. So literally the ball is always in my hands to do what I want. Am I going to be resourceful? Am I going to be productive? Or maybe if they meet me out there naked, it's what I chose.
It's what you chose.
Yes.
So it's all about you.
Exactly. It is all about me.
Precious, your card,
and
you've got yourself from it.
Yeah.
So back to your music career. How are you trying to balance your studies, your music, and Miss No? In just seconds, then I'll ask you another question.
As the Miss said, Noah, I'll do my part when I'm at school. Also focus on my studies. Then in the holidays, I'll also focus on my music. Yeah.
So are you having any plans of releasing new songs this year?
Yeah. Actually, tomorrow I'm going to shoot a video.
Hey, which song is that?
It's new song. Kaja surprise. Surprise. Yeah.
Yeah, video. So besides that, talking the kusonga peer pressure, how are your friends relevant to you?
My friends, I can't say that they are perfect, but they are good.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're so great.
Yeah.
Watch bapoga seko ngodi wakare na ogenda odi wakakati. Bani bazwa obadi nemkono bo odi kushitamanyi ayakomanga kunyunya kwa ngo celebrate kati. Bagenda kuja banji. How which principles are you going to put that maybe this one no, because people come many. Need to sokola kumanya to
intention.
Yeah, so to go in the song.
I first look at your behaviors, how you behave. Okay. If your behaviors are not good at all, then I choose to stay away from you.
Stay away from you.
Yeah.
Any advice from the young students out there?
I advise you to not be like dormant. ebibazimba tesebita bazimba kuzunga ku kyalo no temulina kubeera dormant mufune bye mukola don't risk.
So guys, don't risk. Just told you, and I believe I have enjoyed this topic of discussion. But before we go into a quick commercial break, I would love Esie to give us her last remarks on this topic. I hope you have enjoyed it, and it has been really impactful. Esie, give us your last remarks about making a meaningful holiday to the students out there and also to the parents out there. Then share with them anything that you love. In just seconds, then we wind up.
Well, I'm not that old to give people advice, but in life, I really want to be inspired by people. Most of us have been inspired by Beyonce, but what have we gained from them? What have they provided in life? But instead, we should be inspired but by who we want to be. In the morning, I can wake up and be like, I want to be the best news anchor. And I will be, because that is what I want. But most of us have just been inspired by things that are not productive. We are not giving ourselves time to think hard, but instead we are literally focusing on things like music, of course everything is productive, but in actual sense, what are we gaining? In actual sense, how are we supposed to sum up the holiday? Let's be resourceful, let's be respectful, let's pray to God, because those are the things that literally make a family. And in my last words, please, let's pray to God. Let's learn to look nice. Just like that.
All right, send two people greetings to people.
Well, my regards to my mommy, Noella, and my great friends that are watching. I'm just blessed to have a family like you.